Hi, cool gamer. Goodbye, cool gamer. Hey, Jax. Shit. Oh, I cut this open and I had a string to pull. Oh, okay. I thought there was no sound. I was checking to see if I had sound. I was like, did I turn on the mic? Wow. Looking at some of these cards, these are pretty interesting. Yeah, no shit. Hopefully, get some people in here to play because there's some pretty interesting questions here already. Oh, man. Says 1 on my end. Believe it or not, that doesn't surprise me. Oh, shit, we may not even get to play tonight. What? Oh, duh. Huh. Wow, these, man. We need to get some people in here. All right, be right back. All right, I'm back. Had to go get some socks. Like it mattered because there's so many people here. I knew I should have just went and colored. Oh well. I'm giving it 30 minutes. Then I'm out of here. I messaged a few people. Okay, good. By a few, do you just mean Erica? No, like 4 people. Oh, okay. Because usually just Erica comes, and Carla when she can. Oh, yeah, but tonight's Carla's anniversary, so she probably won't show up, which is fine. Really? Including Jason. Hell yeah, Jason. Wait, the Jason comes in here or somebody different? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I'm more of a C, but whatever. I managed to eat real food. Oh, sweet. What'd you eat? Wow. Okay. My mom made drumsticks and potatoes and a lemon sauce. Yep, got another 15 minutes and then I'm out of here. Yeah, I wasn't going to go live tonight too because Angelica was asking me earlier. She was just like, "Are you going to go live later?" I was like, "No, probably not." But then I was just like, "Fuck!" I keep forgetting I've been live like 3 times since you got me this game, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" I've been wanting to play that game in the room, which is the whole purpose I wanted the fucking game. So I was like, "Ah shit, let me go live for a little bit." But everybody else is like, "Fuck artists." Well, people say that regardless, but I didn't try on my Sheen clothes yet, even. Oh wow. I still haven't opened everything from my Jeffrey box. That's how bad I feel. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Keep wanting to shuffle these cards, but then I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to take them out of order because some of these are really fucked up. Some of them are really interesting, some of them are really weird. I don't think it really matters because, you know. Oh, okay. Hey, Diana, what's up? Finally, somebody showed up. But we got about 10 minutes left, so some more people better show up. Excuse me. Jason will be here. Oh, I didn't want to read this because I've been bowling a lot lately. Ew. Here's a little preview question. And let's try not to, let's play the honest way. Let's not Google these. But seeing how I'm bowling a lot lately, bowling alleys have germs to spare. Giggity. Well, not really giggity, but you know what I mean. What bowling alley staple contains the most fecal matter? Is it A, the score keeping touchscreen, B, the shoes, C, the air vent, or D, the finger holes in the balls? I hope it's the shoes, but I doubt it. Finger holes in the ball. Jason got it. Finger holes in the ball. I've been bowling a fuck ton a lot lately. Like sometimes like at least 2 times a week. At most 2 times a week. And I don't have my own ball. I would have figured, like, if I didn't see the answer, I would have went with the scorekeeping touchscreen first. Because I figured, the shoes, I don't see how it would be the shoes. The air vent, I could probably understand. And the finger holes in the balls make sense, but I didn't want it to be true. Huh. Okay. Hi, Jackson, Diana, and everyone. That is everyone. We might only be on for like another 7 minutes. While chimpanzees are the animals genetically closest to humans, it turns out we share 60% of the same DNA with what? Is it A, rats, B, houseplants, C, bananas, or D, pigeons? Jason says rats. See if anybody else answers. While chimpanzees are the animals genetically closest to humans, it turns out we share 60% of the same DNA with what? Is it A, rats, B, houseplants, C, bananas, or D, pigeons? Jason thinks it's rats. Jax thinks it's houseplants. Believe it or not, it's bananas. Bananas. We share 60% of the same DNA with fucking bananas, yo. All right, now I'm gonna get to like the weird, the well, I wouldn't say weird ones, but here we go. Oh, yeah, you know what? Let me get a score pad here. Keep a running tally. I'll put Jax, Jason, and just in case she wants to answer, I'll put Diana. How the hell is it been? I don't know, dude. So that's 1 for Jason so far. No, 2, because you got the fecal matter one too. Out hiking and come across wombat poop? Here's a weird fact about their feces. Is it A, which one of these are true essentially? Is it A, their shit is one of the main sources of their food? There's no little blurb about the Reddit. No. Let me check. No. So out hiking, come across wombat poop. Here's a weird fact about their feces. Which one is real? Their shit is one of their main food sources. B, their shit doesn't have an odor. And I'm not putting in the word shit. It actually says this on the card. Their shit doesn't have an odor. C, they shit out of their mouth. Or D, their shit comes out perfectly cubed. Jax thinks it's A, their shit is one of their main food sources. Jason also thinks it's A. Diana thinks it's A. Well, you're all wrong. It's actually D. Their shit comes out perfectly cubed. Their shit comes out perfectly cubed. All right. Here's like a less disgusting one, thankfully. If you're thinking about scamming people for over $700,000 a year, here's the most successful scam. Is it A, a fake IRS collection, B, Nigerian prince emails, C, fake debt collection, or D, fake eBay listings? Thank God it wasn't C, they shit out their mouth. I'm pretty sure if they shit out their mouths, we would have heard about that before this card game. All of the above. But which one of these make the most money? Good answer, but which one makes them? I've fallen for a couple fake eBay. Well, I wouldn't even say they were fake eBay listings. They just incorrectly posted shit. Jackson says A. Jason's going to go with B, Nigerian prince email. And we'll see. Okay, we went down to 2 viewers, so I guess Diana left. But believe it or not, Jason got it. It's actually B, Nigerian prince emails. Oh, and Diana got it too. Okay, there it is. I'm pretty sure there was a lag there, so I'm going to give that to her. Jack, she haven't gotten any of these yet. But that's what it says. It says B is the most successful. Nigerian prince email. People actually fall for that shit. You know? Maybe the first time I can understand, but then once it became like a known phenomenon, you figure people will stop falling for that shit. You know? Like the first time it ever happened, I can understand somebody falling for it. But then once people were just like, hey, fake Nigerian prince and shit, how many fucking Nigerian princes could there be? You know? All right. If you work at this job, watch your back. Which occupation has seen the most number of people murdered on their job rise? Oh, hold on. Jack should say she's a Nigerian princess. Let me try reading this again, because the way they word these is really weird. If you work at this job, watch your back. Which occupation has seen the number of people murdered on the job rise every year since 2014? Is it A, food delivery drivers, B, postal workers, C, sneaker store employees, or D, fast food workers? Diana thinks it's A, food delivery drivers. Jason's also going to go with A. B was postal worker, and C was sneaker store employee. So like a Foot Locker employee or women's Foot Locker employee. I like how my shit says 2 people are watching, but there's 3 people talking. A, I guess. You're all wrong. It's actually fast food worker. Fast food worker. I can see why y'all went with A, though. That makes a lot of sense. All right, here we go. A UK woman has a rare disorder where her body violently rejects every single food except for this one. Which one is it? Is it A, raw hamburger, B, fruity pebbles, C, chicken McNuggets, or D, Tic Tacs? Also, the email scam reminds me of the time a Nigerian gave me his spare phone and rode next to me on a bus ride from Dallas to Houston. Oh, yeah. Diana thinks it's D, Tic Tacs. Which one? A was raw hamburger. Now it says one person's watching, yet still 3 talking. I don't get it. Jason's going to go with A. And Jackson's going to be different and go with C. And Diana, the only one that gets that one, because it's actually Tic Tacs. Tic Tacs. Which, man, that would suck, man. You have a rare disorder where your body violently rejects every single food except which one. You know how many fucking Tic Tacs you would have to eat probably to be filled? A fuck ton. Those aren't food. I know, that's what I'm saying, man. You know how many of those you'd have to eat for it to make it food? And like, fuck, do you get tired of Tic Tacs? Do you throw some in a fucking saute pan every now and then? Or, you know, shit. All right, here we go. Being stuck in a shitty marriage also has what weird side effect on the body? Is it A, bad marriages make people dumber? B, arguments make wounds heal slower? C, oddly makes people's hair grow faster? I'll tell you right now, it ain't fucking C. I can't tell you how much fucking hair I've lost because of arguments. D, hating your spouse causes you to act more recklessly behind the wheel. Being stuck in a shitty marriage also has what weird side effect on the body? Is it A, bad marriages make people dumber? B, arguments make wounds heal slower? C, oddly makes people's hair grow faster? D, hating your spouse causes you to act more recklessly behind the wheel. Jason thinks it's A, bad marriages make people dumber. Jax is going to go with D, hating your spouse causes you to act more recklessly behind the wheel. And Diana's going to go with D, and you all are wrong. It is actually B, arguments make wounds heal slower. Although, there is some truth in D. I swear, man, like fucking when I used to be with baby mama, man, I'd be, when she lived with us in Illinois, we'd be arguing while driving. Then all of a sudden she's like, why are you driving so fast? I'm like, I'm trying to outrun the fight. It never worked. Being stressed does lower the immune system, so I see it. All right. Don't do anything that's going to kill more brain cells. Guess how many brain cells die every second all by themselves? Is it A, 32,000 brain cells, B, 100 brain cells, C, 320,000 brain cells, or D, 1,000 brain cells? They die every second. God, I wish it was C, Jason, because then I'd have a full luscious head of fucking hair. Jackson's going to go with D. Jason's going to go with C. And Diana's going to go with D. And yet again, you're all wrong. It's actually A, 32,000 brain cells. Well, nice to know that y'all aren't Googling these and we're playing a fair game, so that's nice. Okay. Hold on, let me show you guys the word here. Let me cover the answer. That word right there. Copra with a hada. I'm going to try and get it out tomorrow, Jason. It was A, 32,000 brain cells, Jax. But that word right there is the medical term for what horrific but real medical issue? Is it A, 24-hour migraines, B, severe diarrhea lasting more than Oh, wow. Okay. There's a typo on this card. Huh. It's okay. There's a typo on this card, which is really funny. It says A, 24-hour migraines. Then it says B, severe diarrhea lasting more than C, 4 days. So they didn't put an answer for C. Or D, having strictly liquid stool, vomiting, feces. Oh, I get it. Okay. Let's go back again. One more time. Is it A, migraines, B, severe diarrhea lasting more than 4 days, C, vomiting feces, or D, having strictly liquid stool? I see the fucking typo they made here. Okay. But you guys have put in your answer. Diana's for D, Jax is for D, and Jason is for B. So Jax, you finally got a point. So does Diana. It is actually D, having strictly liquid stool. Strictly liquid stool. Which, man, I can't imagine if it was 24-hour migraines. Fuck. That would be fun. I would have hung myself. They came out tomorrow and said, you have 24-hour migraines. I was like, well, like, nope. All right. All right, this is a gross one. I'm letting you guys know right now. Just be prepared. If you got a thick white substance oozing out of your uncircumcised penis, you're suffering from semiga. If it smells like this, you'll know for sure. A, burnt popcorn. B, dead fish. C, old cheese. Or D, rotting garbage. I've had a migraine for days at a time. Yeah, that's one thing though, but like the constantly, like if, let's say that was the fucking disease, 24-hour migraine, every day you're having a migraine, every fuck day. Okay, so we see C, C, and B. Okay, again, Jax and Diana get it because it is actually C, old cheese. Diana's in the lead. She got 4 now. Damn. Close to 1,000 men die every year in this odd way. Is it A, falling off of ATVs, B, autoerotic asphyxiation, C, accidental electrocution, or D, choking on a hot dog? Jason says B. Jack says B, maybe. Diana's going to be different. She's going to go with D, choking on a hot dog. Jason and Jax, you got that one. It is actually autoerotic asphyxiation, which translation, kind of choking or hanging yourself as you, which, when I first read that, I was like, that's not surprising. All right, depending on how innocent you are, this is kind of a gross one. But what's a retrograde orgasm? Is it A, when you orgasm without being touched? B, when semen travels backward into the body? C, an orgasm without an erection? Or D, an orgasm in which no semen is ejaculated? All right, that was taking too long, man. Don't be trying to Google and shit. All right, Jason says D. An orgasm in which no semen is ejaculated. Repeat answers. A, when you orgasm without being touched. B, when semen travels backward into the body. C, an orgasm without an erection. Or D, an orgasm in which no semen is ejaculated. And Jason has selected D as his answer. Jax is going to go with A, when you orgasm without being touched. Give Diana a second here, see if she's going to answer. And Diana's going to go with D. You're all wrong. It is actually when semen travels backwards into the body. Answer B. All right, here we go. That one's not fun. I don't want to do that one. Saw that one earlier. That's weird, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I can, maybe you're fucking someone, maybe you're pleasuring yourself, and you're about there, and then it just goes. And I can kind of wrap my head around that. Just because you suddenly have an STD, that doesn't mean that your current partner cheated. Which of these three? You know what? I don't like this one because I think the answer is wrong on this one. So never mind. Okay, there we go. A 2014 study proved beer goggles are a real thing, and the impairment can make these people think that these are better looking than they really are. Is it A, pictures of dogs, B, pictures of loved ones, C, pictures of landscapes, or D, pictures of themselves? Jason thinks A, pictures of dogs. What was B and C? B was pictures of loved ones, and C was pictures of landscapes. Diana's going to go with D, pictures of themselves. And Jax is going to go with D as well. You're all wrong. It is actually pictures of landscapes. Pictures of landscapes is the answer. All right. We got another weird one here. So stick with me. Traumatic masturbatory syndrome. Traumatic masturbatory syndrome is the habit of doing what? Is it A, masturbating face down on the bed, B, masturbating immediately after traumatic events, C, only being able to orgasm at funerals or in hospitals, or D, being beaten during an orgasm? Jason's going to go with C, only being able to orgasm funerals or in hospitals. Diana's going with A, which is masturbating face down in a bed or on a bed, whatever. Erica! I don't want to guess this one. They're all weird, but I'm sure it's not A. Well, you would be wrong because it is actually A. Diana gets that one. It is masturbating face down on a bed, which I think out of all those is the most normal. Like everything else, I'm going to put Erica down just in case she wants to jump in and play. All right, Erica, we're playing I Wish I Didn't Know, which Jax got me for my birthday here. Some really weird questions and such thus far. All right. What was the question? The question, that one was traumatic masturbatory syndrome is the habit of doing what? And the answer was masturbating face down on a bed. All right, here's a more normal one. A little bit of a softball. In 1978, the typical CEO earned roughly 30 times the typical worker's salary. As of 2018, how much more did the typical CEO earn today compared to office workers? Is it A, 100 times more money, B, 87 times more money, C, 287 times more money, or D, 154 times more money? That's traumatic. That's normal. That's what I'm like. That was the most normal one of the fucking 4 that were on there. Jason's going to go with B, 87 times more money. The first one was 100 times more money. Diana's going to go with D, 154. Oh, I'm sorry. In 1978, the typical CEO earned roughly 30 times the typical worker's salary. As of 2018, how much more did the typical CEO earn today compared to office workers? So 30 times is what it was in 1978. Erica's going to go with C, 287 times more money. And Jax is going to go with A. Erica's the only one that got it. It is actually 287 times more money. All right, the next one. The most dangerous job in the United States. That's fucked up. I know, right? The most dangerous job in the United States kills about 135 people per 100,000 workers. What is it? Is it A, logging, B, roofing, C, commercial fishing, or D, steel working? I'm smart because I'm straight faced. Jax thinks steel working. Diana also thinks steel working. Erica's going to go with roofing, which is B. We're just waiting for Jason here. And Jason thinks it's C, commercial fishing. See, when I first read the question, I also thought it was commercial fishing, but you're all wrong. It's actually logging. Logging. What's up, Stug? It's actually logging. Sorry. Alrighty. Next one here. Gerard Jesse is a man who lets his ass do the talking. What farting world record does this Filipino man own? Is it A, farthest distance shooting an object via flatulence, B, most consecutive farts in 1 minute, C, most candles blown out by a fart, or D, longest fart ever? This is why they never put me on the YouTube homepage or anything like that. Oh, Stug wants in. Let me write Stug down here. Stug thinks it's B, most consecutive farts. Diana and Jason think it's C. Erica thinks it's D. And Jax, the question is, Gerard Jesse is a man who lets his ass do the talking. What farting world record does this Filipino man own? Is it A, farthest distance shooting an object via flatulence, B, most consecutive farts in 1 minute, C, most candles blown out by farts, or D, the longest fart ever? Jax thinks it's A. Well, Jason and Diana are correct. It is actually most candles blown out by farts. And with that, Diana is in the lead again. She's got 6. Jason's got 5. Jax has got 3. Erica, who just got here, got 1. And Stug was incorrect with that one, so he's got nothing. Ryan Stock set the world record for shoving this object a total of 56 centimeters up his nose. Was it A, a glow stick, B, a knife, C, a pencil, or D, a tampon? I purposely put in that pause to make y'all think it wasn't going to be nose. Jason thinks it's knife. Jax thinks it's glow stick. Stug thinks it's knife. Erica thinks it's tampon. And Diana thinks it's glow stick. Jason. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jax and Diana got one because it is actually glow stick. Glow stick. When I first saw it, I thought knife. I went with knife too. It's the only one that really made any sense. Because a tampon is not 56 inches long, in my opinion. All right, here we go. Here's an easy one, I think. Competitive eating king Joey Chestnut, you know, the hot dog guy on 4th of July. Centimeters, not inches. Oh, my bad. Still, it's not 56 centimeters, a tampon. Competitive eating king Joey Chestnut holds the world record for devouring 121 of which snack in 6 minutes? Is it A, Twinkies, B, Snowballs, C, Yodels, or D, Thin Mints? Stug thinks it's A, Twinkies. A. Competitive eating king Joey Chestnut holds the world record for devouring 121 of which snack in 6 minutes? A. Twinkies, B. Snowballs, C. Yodels, D. Thin Mints. Stug, Jason, and Diana all think it's A. Jax thinks it's A. Erica thinks it's A. Everybody gets a point because it is in fact A. That puts Stug on the board. Finally, it is Twinkies. In its entire history, only one professional American football player has died on the field. Which sport has killed 34 participants in the same time span? Was it A, horse racing, B, hockey, C, race car driving, or D, boxing? You get a point. You get a point. Everybody gets a point. Jason thinks it's C, race car driving. Erica's going to go with D, boxing. Ooh, are we all going to have different answers here? Somebody going to conform to one? Yeah, Diana conforms to one. She goes with boxing. Just start saying, why do I got to keep repeating them twice? Pay attention. In its entire history, only one professional American football player has died on the field. Which sport has killed 34 participants in the same time span? A, horse racing, B, hockey, C, race car driving, D, boxing. And Stug is also going to go with D. And Jax is going to go with B, hockey. You're all wrong. All of you. You're all wrong. It's actually horse racing. Which, that kind of makes sense. Look at, well, I can see race car driving doing it too. But. All right. Okay. I didn't read the answer, but this is funny. Hot cockles. That's what it says. Hot cockles was a popular kids game in the 1500s that involved beating a blindfolded player until what happened? Is it A, he passed out, B, he went home crying, C, he correctly guessed who was punching him, or D, he was able to dodge a punch? We need to bring this game back. Be kind of fun. Jack thinks it's C. Jason thinks it's A. He passed out. Erica's going to go with D, and Stug is going to go with C, and Diana's going to go with A. So, Stug and Jax, you're in it. Because it is actually, he correctly guessed who was punching him. Hot Cockles. The name of my new book, coming soon. Think you have it bad? About 2 billion, yes, billion people don't have access to this common household thing. Is it A, washing machine, B, refrigerator, C, running water, or D, a toilet? Hot Cockles, no one answer. Nope, not even like the no one answer. I'm just going to name it Hot Cockles. Diana thinks it's C, running water. Jason thinks it's B, refrigerator. Erica thinks it's D, toilet. Stug thinks it's D, toilet. Think you have it bad? About 2 billion, yes, billion people don't have access to this common household thing. Is it A, washing machine, B, refrigerator, D or C, running water, or D, toilet? Running water. Erica and Stug are correct. It's actually a toilet. Which, if I ever go over to your house and you're one of those 2 billion people, I'm probably going to politely leave. It pays to be attractive. A recent study showed that good-looking criminals, A, were more often involved in higher stakes crime, B, got shorter sentences from a judge, C, got modeling careers after serving their sentences, or D, were released on parole more quickly. Third world problems. Jason thinks it's C, got modeling careers. Erica thinks it's B, got shorter sentences from a judge. Stug thinks it's A. And let me go round 2 for Jax here. Oh, Jax got it. Okay. So Erica and Jax actually got it. It has got shorter sentences from a judge. Yeah, I remember that guy. One was a model. I remember that guy. Apparently, nothing ever came of it. He got like some modeling gigs and shit, and just nothing happened to him. Over 25% of daily search engine requests are people looking for what? Is it A, dieting tips, B, advice about committing murder, C, pornography, or D, medical advice? While y'all mull that one over, I'm going to go grab a drink since we're going to be on a little bit here. All right. Movie fan thinks it's B, advice on committing murder. Erica thinks it's D. Stug thinks it's D. Diana thinks it's A. And the murder one, LOL, because more people ask medical advice than I would think. You're all wrong. It's actually porn. Go figure. You're all wrong. All right. Okay. Speaking of porn, it's like my podcast now. Speaking of porn, what is the most popular day of the week for viewing porn? Is it A, Friday, B, Saturday, C, Sunday, or D, Monday? That's why I don't use Google. What do you use? Bing? What do you use? Yahoo search? Which for some reason my fucking computer is like default is Yahoo search. Jack thinks it's A, Friday. Diana thinks C. Movie fan thinks B. Stug thinks D. And who are we waiting on? Erica here. Brave. Oh, okay. Never heard of Brave, but okay. Monday. Yes, Stug and Erica are correct. It is Monday. You meant Monday? But you said A. How do you mean Monday with A? You lose. Good day, sir. What? Yes, and I sent. All right, fine. I'll give you the damn point. All right. Again, speaking of porn, what's the most popular holiday of the year for viewing porn? Is it A, Halloween, D, or I just skipped right to D. A, Halloween, B, Christmas Day, C, New Year's Day, or D, Thanksgiving? I would have thought Valentine's Day would have been on here, but apparently not. There is no F. All right. Diana thinks B. Jack thinks D. Jason thinks Christmas. Stug thinks D. Erica thinks D. And Stug, Jax, and Erica get it. Erica and Stug. Anybody else? Okay. Let's make sure I got it right here. So with that, Jax, you actually take the lead. You got 9. Jason has 6. Diana, I should say, has 8. Erica has 5, and so does Stug. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Erica has 6. Erica has 6, and Stug has 5. And I'm going to keep this running tally going. So, like, whenever we whip this game out and play, I'm going to keep the same score, and then we'll see who people can come in later and join. All that shit. So it's just going to be a running tally. All right. Before you do it, think twice about committing a crime in this country. If you get caught here, the conviction rate is 99%. Is it A, Japan, B, Iceland, C, Afghanistan, or D, Singapore? Oh, I'm so glad they brought that mango back. Jack thinks it's D, Singapore. Jason's going to go with A, Japan. Stug is going to go with D, Singapore as well. Erica thinks Singapore. And Diana thinks A. Jason and Diana, it is Japan. It is Japan. I would have thought Afghanistan, like before looking at it. I would have said Afghanistan. All right. If you're driving and a deer jumps in front of your car, it's recommended that you what? A, yell at the deer. B, swerve to avoid hitting the deer. C, keep driving straight. Or D, slam your car into reverse. And I'll tell you right now, the answer is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. Diana thinks B, swerve to avoid hitting the deer. Stug thinks it's D. Jax thinks it's D. Jason thinks it's C. Is that everybody? No, Erica. We're missing Erica. Keep going. Fuck that bitch. Believe it or not, that is correct answer. It is C. Keep driving straight. So Erica and Jason get one there. Why would that be the recommended ordeal? I don't get that. Why would that be the recommended thing? I don't get it. All right. Here we go. Women and maybe the deer will know to run. Yeah, right into the car. Women in this profession tend to be more likely to cheat. Is it A, public relations, B, stripping, C, acting, or D, medicine? It's a dominant thing, and I'm the head bitch in charge. Okay, Erica. Jax thinks it's V. There is no answer V. But, oh, okay, C. She thinks it's acting. Strippers. Stug thinks it's D. Erica thinks it's D. And Diana thinks it's A. It is actually D, medicine. So Erica and Stug, you two get that one. Okay. If you have a wife, come on, guys. Right. If you have a wife, she is most likely to cheat on you with the following person: A, a colleague, B, a bartender, C, the babysitter, or D, an in-law. Jason thinks it's a colleague. Jax is going to go with colleague. Stug thinks it's D, an in-law. Erica's going to go with in-law. And Diana's going to go with colleague. So, it is actually a colleague. Colleague. I would have said bartender. If I wasn't looking at the answer, I would have said bartender. Okay. Sometimes the urge can't wait. In which of these places are people most likely to have sex in public? Is it A, the car, B, a public bathroom, C, the beach, or D, a park? Diana thinks A, the car. Erica thinks the park. Jason thinks the car. Looks like we're split between the car and park right now. Oh, Stug's going to change it up. He's going to go public bathroom. And let me read it again for Jax. Sometimes the urge can't wait. In which of these places are people most likely to have sex in public? A, the car, B, a public bathroom, C, the beach, or D, a park? I answered. What the fuck? I don't see your answer. I just have Diana A, Erica Park, Jason A, Stug B. I don't have an answer for you. D, the park. Jax is the only one who got that one. It is actually the park. I would have thought the car, because I've had numerous escapades in a car. So, because I'm just going by general experience, I guess. Oh, Erica said, "Oh yeah, she sure did. She sure did. Yep, my bad, Erica. I got you. All right. Okay, I got it. I answered from personal experience myself. Really, in the park? I would, without giving anything away, I would have figured personal experience. It would have been the beach. Not that I'm saying. Let me be clear. Not that I'm saying I know Jax has had sex on the beach, but trust me, she knows there's fucking reason why I would think she would pick C. You got your point, Joe. But really, a park. Interesting. All right. If you're invited to an orgy, you should know it's bad manners to bring this to the event. A, potato salad. B, a double-sized dildo. C, a camera. Or D, an uninvited guest. Damn, I'm missing out not doing it in the park. Diana thinks D, Jax thinks C, Jason thinks B, Stug thinks D, and Erica thinks D. So Diana, Erica, and Stug all get it. Although camera is a good answer. Although potato salad, I think, is a better answer. But yes, uninvited guest is the correct answer. Although I'm only going from personal experience. So many orgies in my life, can't keep up with them. Although I will say the car thing, Okay. That was my next guess? Okay. If you grew up watching TV every day, you saw about 16,000 of these by the time you were 18. A, drug commercials. B, cartoons. C, movie trailers. D, murders. Also the park for the wooded areas. Oh, okay. I guess I could. See, when I think park, I just think of like that question. I just think of like just two people fucking on a park bench, just right there out in the open. I don't think about the wooded areas. There's a story I'm missing there. I never knew you did it in a park. Okay. Jason thinks A. Stug thinks C. Erica thinks drug commercials, so A. Diana thinks D, murders. And Jax thinks A. Only one of you got it. It was Diana. It was Rafika. Oh, okay. It D, murders. Murders is the only one. Which, I mean, really, can you really count that? Like, if you watch 16,000, did you really see a murder, or you saw a portrayal of murder? I don't know. I think there's some logistics with that question here. Okay. If you're getting surgery, there is a chance some objects might get sewn up inside you. What's the most common item doctors leave inside of people? A, sponges. B, needles. C, tweezers. Or D, clamps. Movie Geek. Oh, let me get Movie Geek on the board here. Hold on. Movie. Oh, no, wait. Let me go down further. Shit. Okay. What do we got here? So Jax thinks A. Movie Geek thinks C. Diana thinks D, clamps. Erica's going with sponges. Stug is going with tweezers. And Jason's going with Sponges. Let's see. So, am I missing somebody? No. Jax and Jason are the ones who get them there. So hold on. I got to redo this whole fucking thing. Hold on. I got to redo this real quick. Hold on. So, Jax is gone. Okay. Jason. It's like trying to keep score for the podcast now. Jesus. Hold on. We'll get to the next one in a second here, guys. And I'll go ahead and write Movie Geek down here. And we'll get him a score going. Second, he gets a point here. Okay, there we go. Finally, we're getting some new blood in here playing. Finally, we got Movie Geek in here trying to answer questions down and shit. Movie Geek, thank you for either being a subscriber or coming in. I don't have subscriber mode on, but... All right, what's a gross but common way for people to find food during a famine? Is it A, digging up freshly buried bodies and eating the meat? B, roasting cow manure? C, seasoning and eating clothing? Or D, eating literal mud pies? Jax is going with D, mud pies. Oh, Brett's here. Oh, got to get Brett on the board. Brett. All right, so Jax thinks D, Brett thinks C, Stug thinks C, Erica thinks A, and Movie Geek, Jason, and Diana, all y'all think it's D, eating literal mud pies. One of you got it right, and it's actually Erica. It's actually digging up freshly buried bodies and eating the meat. Erica's the only one that got a point there, and I think that puts Erica into the lead with 13. Brett, we're playing a fair game here. Please do not Google any of these answers. All right, which of the following is true about... Just don't eat the brain. Okay? Which of the following is true about married heterosexual couples? Well, that is what they did during Oregon Trail days, so I see it. Which of the following is true about married heterosexual couples? A, they have more sex. B, they're generally happier. C, married men live longer than single men. Or D, married women live longer than single women. Brett's going with C. Jason's going with A. Diana with C. Movie Geek with C. Erica's going with D. Stug is going with D. We're missing Jax. Which of the following is true about heterosexual couples? A, they have more sex. Jax is going with D. Okay, Movie Geek. Brett and Diana? Diana. Get it. It is actually C. Married men live longer than single men. I refuse to believe married people are happier than single people. Married people have too many issues. Well, according to this, you would be wrong. Damn, I almost said C. So everybody's on the board. Everybody who's actually participating right now is actually on the board. We have Jax with 12, Jason with 10, Diana tied for the lead with 13. My name is Dan. Okay, I got you. All right. Dan. There we go. All right, Dan. Well, welcome to the first time I've seen you in here. So welcome to the live here. What do we have? So we have Jax with 12, Jason with 10, Diana and Erica tied at 13. Stug at 7, and Dan and Brett both at 1. And this, for people just coming in, playing and everything, whenever we whip this game out and play, it's going to be an ongoing score tally. So, whenever we play this again, I'm not going to reset the scores or anything like that. More people can come and join. Who knows, Fellas, maybe you should rethink rocking those skinny jeans. Which side effect is caused by wearing them? Is it A, urinary tract infections, B, twisted nuts, D, bladder issues, or D, all of the above? That is true. Yeah, just because they live longer doesn't mean they're happier. Diana's going to go with D, all of the above. Brett's going with D, all of the above. Finally, in all of the above. So Jax, I believe, is going with all of the above. Stug is going with all of the above. Erica's going with all of the above. I usually watch your Movies Are USA streams. This is okay. Well, hey, thanks for coming in. Yeah, we do some different shit around here. Movie Geek. And if you're also a wrestling fan, every Wednesday we have the 3-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast every morning. So if you're a wrestling fan, if you're not, then hey, everybody gets a point. You get 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 one. Dan gets one. Brett gets one because the answer is D. I didn't see that. Jason didn't answer. Oh, okay. Well, shit. He got the point anyway. So, but yes, it is actually Oprah points. Yes, that is an Oprah round. That's what we're going to call that. When everybody who's actively playing gets a point, it is going to be an Oprah round from now on. An Oprah point. But yes, it was actually they were twisted nuts. A survey revealed that doing this too soon in a relationship will make a guy run for the hills. Is it A, talking about the future? B, asking to leave stuff at his place? C, never getting off your phone? Or D, talking about an ex? Welcome to the cast. Dan, Jax, and I are deeply in love with each other, just FYI. And we also have a strike system here, and Brett just earned one. Jax thinks it's B. Brett thinks it's B. There's like fucking 7 people actively playing right now, so I gotta pay attention. Stug. Damn, I want to say all. Diana thinks it's D. Erica's gonna go with A. We're just waiting for Dan and Jason. That's what we're waiting for. Jason thinks it's B. And Dan thinks it's A. Let's see here. So Erica and Dan get points right there because it was actually A, talking about the future. Talking about the future. All right. Recent studies have found people tend to hate this color when they get older. Is it A, blue, B, orange, C, red, or D, green? Took us a little while to get going, but now we got a game going here. Jax thinks it's orange. Dan thinks it's orange. Brett thinks it's A. Diana thinks it's A. Stug thinks it's C. We're just waiting for Jason and Erica. Erica thinks it's orange. Write something down while we wait for Jason's answer if he's still here. Could have stepped out for a minute. We'll give him a second here. And B. Okay, so Brett and Diana, points, because it was actually blue. Blue. At least we know Brett isn't trying to copy my answers to impress you. I think that's what he was doing at first. All right, here's a non-weird one in my opinion. According to a survey, this is the least favorite side dish on the Thanksgiving table. Is it A, cranberry? But I see old people wearing blue. Is it A, cranberry sauce, B, stuffing, C, mashed potatoes, or D, yams? Yeah, I got you. It said B. I got you, but you're still wrong. So Jack thinks it's D, yams. Erica says A, cranberry sauce. Brett says A, cranberry sauce. Stug says B, stuffing. I think Stug just answers what everybody else is not answering. That's what I'm starting to notice that here. Diana thinks D, yams. Dan thinks it's A, cranberry sauce. And who are we waiting on? Jason we're waiting on. And D. All right. The answer is actually A, cranberry sauce. So Erica, Brett, Dan, points. Right there. Anybody else say A that I missed? No, I did not. Okay. How the fuck do you hate mashed potatoes? Like, if you don't like mashed potatoes, I kind of don't want to be your friend. Depends on how big your boobs are. Okay, here's another softball one in my opinion. Not everyone wants to taste the rainbow. Brett, if you really love me, you give me that point. Well, you can't have the point. I've already written it down for Brett. Not everyone wants to taste the entire rainbow. Which Skittles color was voted their least favorite flavor in a survey? Is it A, lemon, B, orange, C, purple, or grape, that is, D, strawberry? Jax is going to go with orange. I love that says 4 people, but there's 7 people playing this game. C, grape. Brett thinks lemon. Erica thinks orange. Stug thinks lemon. We're just waiting for Jason. Jason really thinking about these, bro. I hate Skittles, so I'm probably wrong. How do you not like Skittles, yo? Lemon is nasty. All right, Jason must have stepped out. So, oh no, there it is. B, right there. There it is. B, orange. We got points. Brett and Stug. Points. Oh man, I used to love me some fucking Skittles gum, bro. Skittles gum was the shit. I was part of the rare minority that liked Skittle mints. If anybody remembers Skittles mints. You know, I thought they went out of their fucking head when they started doing chocolate Skittles. That's when I was like, you've lost it. What was the answer? The answer was A, lemon. Lemon was the answer. Yeah, I got you, Jason. Sorry. Just took a minute there for it to pop up. All right. If you live in the United States, we're not sure how you're going to die, but the most likely place for you to die is A, a hospital, B, a nursing home, C, at your home, or D, in bed. Wouldn't that be the same fucking answer? But whatever. I love a good lemon party. Let's see. Dan thinks it's D. Erica thinks it's B. Brett thinks it's B. Stug thinks it's B. A nursing home. Nursing home seems to be the most popular answer right now. Diana thinks D. Looks like y'all are split between D and B here. If you live in the United States, we're not sure how you're going to die, but the most likely place for you to die is at home. Who are we waiting on? Jason. Jason thinks C, at your home. You're all wrong. It's actually at a hospital. Not a single one of y'all said hospital, which makes the most sense in theory, you know. These two are boring. I don't want to do these. All right. Oh, okay. The world record for the largest object to be stuffed up someone's ass is what? Is it A? Everybody listen carefully because these are some complicated sounding shit. Let me read it again. The world record for the largest object to be stuffed up someone's ass is what? Is it A 1.8 pound, 9.2 inch circumference stone? Oh boy. B, 2 16-ounce tall boy beer cans side by side, puts that in parentheses. C, a men's size 10.5 construction work boot. Or D, a standard size traffic cone. Who the fuck was sitting at home and was just like, I want to be in the world record book so bad. What can I do? I'm going to shove blank up my ass. Dan thinks it's B. Jax is going to go with the tall boys. Side by side. Stug thinks it's D. The traffic cone. Erica's going with beer. Brett's going with traffic cone. We're just waiting for Jason and Diana. Diana's going to go with traffic cone. And we're just waiting for Jason here. Give him a couple more seconds here. D, he also thinks traffic cones. No points. We have Oprah points. Now we have Stedman points, where nobody gets any. Because it's actually a 1.8 pound, 9.2 inch circumference stone. The traffic cone had a slippery when wet sign next to it. All right. Okay. If you meet someone using a dating app, studies show there's a 48% chance. That reminds me of the time someone sent me a picture with a bat up there. Oh. If you meet someone using a dating app, studies show that there is a 48% chance that the relationship will end this way. A, an email. B, getting ghosted. C, face-to-face. Or D, cheating. Or E, post-it note. No, I'm kidding. Damn murder. I guess we can count that as a face-to-face. Jax is going with ghosted. Stug's going with ghosted. Erica's going with ghosted. Dan is going to try C, face-to-face. Which, I mean, hey, that's what I said. Brett says cheating. Erica ghosted. Diana ghosted. Just waiting for Jason. Jason says, hey, Jason, the only one with points. Because it is actually, I invented the post. No, you didn't. A guy named Art Fry did. We learned about it in business school. But yeah, Jason, the only one with points. It's actually an email. Go figure. It's an email. All right, so. All right. My father invented toaster strudels. A Match.com survey revealed that a guy who does this will triple his chance of scoring on a date. Is it A, talks highly about his mom? Who the fuck emails? Let me read it again. A Match.com survey revealed that a guy who does this will triple his chances of scoring on a date? Is it A, talks highly about his mom, B, ask about her pets, C, opens the car door, D, chats up the Uber driver? What is this, 2001? Who's in the breakup email anymore? Brett thinks it's C, opens the car door. Erica, ask about the pets. Dan's going to go with opens the car door. Stug is going to go with A, talks highly about his mom. Jax is going to go with talk about his mom. Ask me about my doggo. Diana's going to go with A, talks about his mom. And I think Jason's behind. I think that's why we're having to wait for Jason. So we'll give Jason a second here. So, Erica, how is your dog? Talks about mom. Ouch. Shit. By the way, just wait a minute. Diana said A, talks about mom. Stedman round. Nobody got it. It was D, chats up the Uber driver. Chats up the Uber driver. No points. No points. Right now, the score is Jax with 13, Jason with 12, Diana with 15, Erica with 16, Stug with 9, Dan with 4, and Brett with 5. There's the current score. Think about the next time you see someone sneeze without covering their nose and mouth. The distance that a sneeze can travel is what? Is it A, 200 feet, B, 60 feet, C, 15 feet, or D, the length of a football field? No, some of the answers are wrong. The Uber driver. Brett thinks there is no 6 feet. There it is. C, 15 feet. Okay. There's no 6 feet answer. Stug thinks it's B, 60 feet. Jax is also going to go with 15 feet. What are they again? A, 200 feet. B, 60 feet. C, 15 feet. Or D, the length of a football field? Erica thinks it can go 100 yards. Jason thinks it's B, the 60 feet. We're just waiting for Diana and Dan, if Dan is still here. Diana says D, the football field. And we'll give Dan a second here, see if he's still hanging out. What's the win situation? Dude, I don't know. All right, looks like Dan must have stepped out. You're all wrong. It's 200 feet. 200 feet. Nobody said that, right? Yeah, nobody said it. Nobody said A. Okay. Thinking about going into the wild? This animal is most likely to kill you. A hippo. B, a lion. C, a shark. Or D, a crocodile? Brett thinks A, hippo. Diana's going to go with D, crocodile. Jax is going with hippo. Erica's going with hippo. We're just waiting for Stug. Stug's going to go with hippo. And now we're just waiting for Jason. Give Jason a minute here, or a second here. He thinks it's D, crocodile. The answer is actually A, hippo. Hippo is actually the one. I've never been out in the wild jungle and thought, oh, fuck, that shark's going to get me. Just call me Moto Moto. All right, Ito. Okay. D, I got you, Jason. I got you. The item with the most calories at McDonald's isn't a burger. Which menu item clocks in at 1,090 calories? This is why no matter how cute it is when they ask you, never get your kid a hippopotamus for Christmas. This item, the item with the most calories at McDonald's isn't a burger. Which menu item clocks in at 1,090 calories? Is it A, a large raspberry triple thick milkshake? B, 20-piece box of chicken McNuggets? C, large McCafe Oreo frappe? Or D, big breakfast with hash browns and sausage? Biscuits and green. Okay. D, big breakfast with hash browns. Big breakfast, big breakfast, big breakfast. Waiting for Stug and Jason here. Stug's going to be different. He's going to go with B. He's not going to go with it. He's not going to conform to the crowd. He's going to go with a 20-piece box of chicken McNuggets. What the hell I was about to say? Chucking McNuggers, you know. Jason also thinks the big breakfast. No points. It says large raspberry triple thick milkshake, which I didn't even know they had fucking raspberry. That's new to me right there. I mean, albeit I don't eat at fucking McDonald's that often, but it was actually the raspberry milkshake. Go figure. Here's one more fact that will hopefully curtail you. Curtail what? Curdle? See what I mean about the wrong answers? Big breakfast. They don't have them. See, that's what I was like. I was like, when the fuck did McDonald's have a raspberry shake? Like strawberry, vanilla, possibly banana. I can see them having because there are places around that have banana shakes. You can't have the thing with the most calories if you can't even order it when the ice cream machine is broken. Look, as a fat ass, I know you're not fat. Shut up. Curtail men's cut short. Here's one more fact that will hopefully curtail your fast food habits. A study showed that this contained the most traces of E. coli. A, milkshakes. B, French fries. C, chicken nuggets. Or D, crushed ice. Means cut short or curb. Oh, okay. Brett thinks it's ice. Jax thinks it's ice. Diana's going to go with A. Erica's going with ice. A is milkshakes. I guess Diana's just baking on that milkshake answer again. She's like, the last one was milkshake. It's got to be this one too. Stug thinks it's crushed ice. We're just waiting for Jason. And Jason's going to be different. He's going to go with French fries. And let's see here. Brett, Jax, Diana, Erica, and Stug points. Slime in the ice machine, Houston folk. If you know, you know. But yes, the answer is crushed ice. Can you ask questions in the Dirty Minds voice? The next time a dirty question comes up where it asks about semen or some shit, I'll do that for you. Think you're getting married to a great guy? Keep an eye on him. The percentage of married men are likely to cheat is what? A, 15%, B, 52%, C, 25%, or D, 30%. I actually traded in my Dirty Minds game. I have another one upstairs that I still have sealed. I just haven't opened it. Brett's going to go with D. Diane's going with B. Jax is technically going with B, 52%. Stug's going with B, 52%. Waiting for Jason and Erica if they are still here. Erica's going with C, 25%. Just waiting for Jason there. Jason thinks B, 52%. I will never do that to you, Jax. Brett, the only one with points. It is actually A, or I'm sorry, D. D, I'm sorry, D, not A. I'm sorry, D. 30%. 30%. Oh, here's a fun one. Okay, all right, Brett, here's your wish. Let me find that voice here. Men and women voted this sex position as their favorite. Is it A, missionary, B, 69, C, her on top, or D, doggy? Brett thinks it's A, missionary. Diana's going with D, doggy. Jack thinks it's either A or D. I need a solid answer. You got to pick one or the other. Stug is going to be different. He's going to go with her on top. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm just saying that's my personal favorite. Is on her on top. I missed, what was it? Men and women voted this sex position as their favorite. A, missionary. B, 69. C, her on top. Or D, doggy. Jason's going with doggy. Erica's going with doggy. Is that everybody? Oh, no, Jax. Jack's going with doggy. All right, so Diana. Jason. Erica and Jax points. It is doggy. Me, I'm a fan of her on top. I don't like doing a lot of work, but I do help you when you're on top, just saying. In Iran, 14 of these were arrested on the suspicion of espionage. A, squirrels. B, toddlers. C, tourists from Iceland. Or D, circus clowns. Brett's going with C, tourists from Iceland. Erica's going with clowns. Wait, what? In Iran, 14 of these were arrested on suspicion of espionage. A, squirrels. B, toddlers. C, tourists from Iceland. Or D, circus clowns. Stug is going with A, squirrels. Which it's Iran. All of these are pretty much possible, I think. Jason's going with circus clowns. Diana's going with tourists from Iceland, and Jax is going with tourists from Iceland. Stug, points, squirrels. When I first saw this, I went with toddlers. To be honest, I was just like, I think maybe it's toddlers. You know, this is one of the rare ones I actually knew before. Like when I read the question, I was like, I knew the answer before reading the answer. So the natural vanilla, strawberry, and raspberry flavoring comes from what? A beaver's anal gland. B, marijuana plants. C, baby vomit. Or D, a lizard's penis. Jax is going with beaver anal gland. I like how Jax just writes out the whole answer. She doesn't put a letter. It's like beaver anal gland. Erica's also going to go with beaver anal gland. Brett's going to be different. He's going to go with a lizard's penis. Stug is going with A. Just waiting for Diana, and I was typing out the answer before you gave the choices. Waiting for Diana and Jason, if they're still here. Jason goes with A, beaver anal gland. Diana goes with anal gland. Everybody, oh man, we almost had an Oprah round because Brett went with D. So that's actually Erica, Stug, Jax, Jason, and Diana points. Brett, these had to be different, didn't you, huh? In 1911, an orphanage in Paris, France, just so we're clear, an orphanage in Paris did this to babies in order to raise funds. A, had them compete in a crawling competition. B, sold their clothes and dressed them up in potato sacks. C, raffled them off. D, painted them the colors of the French flag for a parade. In 1911. Brett's going to go with D, paint them as the French flag. Erica's also going with paint them as the French flag. Stug is going with sold their clothes and dressed them in potato sacks. Diana's going with D, painted them the colors of the French flag for a parade. I really hope it's D, painted them the colors of the French flag for a parade. In 1911, an orphanage in Paris did this to babies in order to raise funds. Had them compete in a crawling competition. Sold their clothes and dressed them in potato sacks. C, raffled them off. Or D, painted them the colors of the flag. Painted them. When I was reading this earlier, like if you go back to like the start of this fucking live, this is one of the ones I read and was just like, just seeing what kind of questions were on here. And I said, because I covered the answer so I wouldn't say it. And I was just like 1911. Okay, so I was like trying to figure it out with the 1911. So the only one that really made any sense to me was sold their clothes and dressed them in potato sacks. But believe it or not, the answer is raffled them off. I didn't think that was legal in 1911. But no points. Nobody with points. Can you imagine telling that to like one of your fucking friends and shit? I used to live in an orphanage. Oh yeah? Why'd you leave? Oh, I was raffled off. You were what? Yeah, I was raffled. That fucked. It probably wasn't legal. That's what I'm like. That was like my thought process. Okay, 1911. If it would have said like 1800s or 1700s, then I would have been like raffle them off. But like I was like 1911. That couldn't have been legal. then. So I was like, all right, it's got to be potato sacks. That's the one my brain went with, but I was wrong. Don't always trust the prescription the doctor gives you. This addictive substance was once prescribed for things as common as coughs and headaches. Is it A, heroin, B, oxycodone, C, crystal meth, or D, alcohol? Diana is going to go with C for crystal meth. Jax is also going with meth. Erica's going with heroin. Stug is going with heroin. You just need Brett and Jason. Brett's going with B, oxycodone. So we got 2 for meth, 2 for heroin, 1 for oxycodone. Let's see if Jason's going to pick D to be different or B. He's going to pick B. So we have 2 for meth, 2 for heroin, and 2 for oxycodone. And Stug and Erica, points. Heroin is the answer. Man, I really have a bad headache. All right. In 1929, 2 Princeton researchers claimed to have turned this pet into a telephone. A, turtle, B, dog, C, rabbit, or D, cat. Diana is going to go with D, cat. Brett's going with A, turtle. Stug is going to be different. He's going to go with rabbit. Is somebody else going to be different and pick dog or no? Repeat answers. In 1929, 2 Princeton researchers claimed to have turned this pet into a telephone. A, turtle, B, dog, C, rabbit, or D, cat. Jack's going to be different and go with dog. Erica's going with rabbit. And Jason is going with A, turtle. This is another one I read at the beginning, and I was just like, it has to be turtle. It's the only one that makes sense. But Diana, points. It's actually cat. Go figure. Yeah, she's the only one that said D. Yeah, she's the only one that said D. Okay. In a recent poll, this smell was voted the most offensive. A decaying animal. B, human shit. C, deviled eggs. Or D, vomit. See, this is the one night you can come to the Artist V1 Live and be like, hey, it's fun and educational. Jax is going with vomit. I'm going to go with human shit. Human shit. Repeat. In a recent poll, this smell was voted the most offensive. Excuse me. A decaying animal. B, human shit. C, deviled eggs. Or D, vomit. Stug is going with B, human shit as well. Diana's going to go with a decaying animal as A. Erica's going with C, deviled egg. She's going to be different. And Brett is going with A. Brett and Diana, points. Because it is actually a decaying animal. Since 1978, a man has kept a collection of this in jars. A, mucus. B, knuckle hairs. C, baby horses. Or D, toenail clippings. How the fuck are you going to keep baby horses in a fucking jar? Oh, maybe the fetus. That's what I was thinking. Fetus. Since 1978, a man has kept a collection of this in jars. A, mucus. B, knuckle hairs. C, baby horses. Or D, toenail clippings. And it looks like everyone's going with D thus far. So if you're all right, if Jax picks D and you're all right, then it's a F. There is no F. Oh, D. And we have an Oprah round. Everybody gets points. Jax, Jason, Brett, Diana, Erica, and Stug. And oops, I did that wrong. There we go. There we go. Ooh. We're going to go a couple more minutes, guys, and then I'm going to head on out of here, okay? If I can get the fucking cards set up here. These cards are sitting up here just fine until just now. All right, there we go. The record for longest time spent without sleeping is held by Randy Gardner and is what? A, 5 days. B, 18 and a half days. C, 13 days. Or D, 11 days. We really hit the toenail on the head. Jason's going to go with 18. Stuck is going to go with 18 and a half. Eric, I'm going to count that as 13 days. There was no 13 and a half. Brett and Diana go with D, 11 days. Oh, let me read it again for Jack. So, the record for the longest time. Oh, okay, there she is. D. All right, so Brett, Jax, and Diana. Points. Right now, the score is Jax with 19, Jason with 15. Again, Diana and Erica tied at 22. Stug is in there at 15. Dan, even though not with us at the moment, 4. And Brett has worked his score up to 11. What do moths do to prevent bats from locating them? A. What was the answer? It was D. D, you got it. What do moths do to prevent bats from locating them? A. Produce a microscopic web around them. B. Curl up into a tiny ball. C. Secrete an odor that only bats can detect. Or D. Vibrate their genitals. Diana's going with C. Stuck is going with D. Jason's going with B. Brett's going to be different. Go with A. So everybody's picked a different answer so far. Let's just see what Erica and Jax pick. Say again. I was laughing. What do moths do to prevent bats from locating them? A. Produce a microscopic web around them. B. Curl up into a tiny ball. C, secrete an odor that only bats can detect, or D, vibrate their genitals? So far, everybody's picked a different answer, so we know at least one of you was right. Erica's going with D. The web would hamper the bat's sonar. Give Jax a second here. I can't decide. Well, everybody's picked a different answer except for Erica. Erica went with D, so we know at least one of those is right. Somebody's getting points here. Who's it going to be? Join me, Jax. One more time, please. What do moths do to prevent bats from locating them? Is it A, produce a microscopic web around them? B, curl up into a tiny ball? C, secrete an odor that only bats can detect? Or D, vibrate their genitals? Jax is going to go with A, produce a microscopic web around them. Erica and Stug, points. It is actually vibrate their genitals, which I wish I could hide from people that way. You know, like, where's Will at? And just like vibrate my nutsack. And they're just like, where'd he go? That's a unique way to get somebody to not find you. On average, a person walks by 16 of these in their lifetime. That's why I was laughing, but I thought it was funny. On average, a person walks by 16 of these during their lifetime. Is it A, murderers, B, billionaires, C, CIA agents, or D, people who will die that very same day? Jason thinks it's A. Diana thinks it's A. Stug is going to go with D. Sorry, Jax, I owe you a genital vibration. That's 2. Jax is going to go with A. We missing someone? Erica. Erica. What was the question? On average, a person walks by 16 of these during their lifetime. Is it A, murderers, B, billionaires, C, CIA agents, or D, people who will die that very same day? CIA, Erica's going to be different. She's going to go with CIA agent. So, Brett's going with C as well. I'm just looking here. Diana, Jax, and Jason, points. It is actually murderers. Murderers. Although I've actually watched a video on that. You got about a 1.6% chance of that of ever encountering a murderer. So I don't know. That's just what it was. I don't want to do that one. The word that was voted the grossest in the English language was what? A, Semiga. All right, here. I'm just going to hold up the fucking question for y'all here. This word was voted the grossest in the English language. And it's A, Semigma, B, moist, C, engorge, or D, phlegm? Jax is going with moist. Stug is going with phlegm. Erica's going with moist. Diana's going with phlegm. So it looks like a race between phlegm and moist here. Smegma. Okay, smegma. Brett's going to be different and go with engorge. It's everybody, right? Erica, can I play this live? Is this?
I think the word is smegma.
Okay. That's everybody, right? No, Jax hasn't answered. Oh, yes, she has. She would have. Okay, that's everybody. That's everybody. No points. It says answer A, smegma, was voted the worst word in the English language. France was still doing this when the first Star Wars movie came out. So first Star Wars movie, for reference, I believe was 76. I believe. Hey Siri, when did Star Wars: A New Hope come out?
Star Wars.
Oh, 77. 77. Thank you, Stug. So France was still doing this when the first Star Wars movie came out. So 1977. A, using the guillotine to execute people. B, showing pornography in movie theaters. C, selling heroin over the counter. Or D, all of the above. Brett's going to go with A, guillotine. Erica's going with all of the above. Diana's going with all of the above. Jax is going with all of the above. Jason's going with all of the above. Stug is going with all of the above. Well, Brett, points. It is using the guillotine to execute people. I actually knew that one. All right. In medieval times, how would doctors test for diabetes? Damn it! I was going to say that. In medieval times, how would doctors test for diabetes? A, tasting your urine. B, sticking a needle in your eye. C, rubbing sugar on your wrist. D, feeling the temperature of your armpit. Erica's going with A. Brett's going with A. Stug is going to go with A. Jason's going with A. Diana's going with A. Is Jax going to conform and go with A, or is she going to pick something different here? Because if she goes with A and everybody's right, then it's an Oprah round. Everybody gets points. But if she goes with something different, she could be the only one with points. It's sweet you had diabetes. Jax is going to go with A, and we have Oprah points. Because that is correct. Tasting urine is the correct answer. When I first read that earlier, I thought it was sticking a needle in your eye. I figured that's possibly where it came from. But, Which of these canned foods is not real? Is it A, canned bird's nest drink? B, canned cream possum? C, canned pork brains? Or D, canned rabbit eyes? Brett thinks it's B. Erica thinks it's A. Stug thinks it's D. Diana thinks it's D. Jax thinks it's possum. Brett thinks it's B. That's everybody, right? No. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, for her points. Diana and Stug, points. It is actually canned rabbit eyes, which is not real, thankfully. Cream possum, I've actually heard of before. Okay. All right. Tinku, 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 is a Bolivian festival where individuals do what? Is it A, beat the shit out of each other for 2 or 3 days straight? B, do everything without clothes for an entire week? C, are arrested if caught speaking anytime? Or D, headbutt each other to say hello? Brett thinks it's A. Stug thinks it's A. Tinku, Tinku, Tinku is a Bolivian festival where individuals do what? A, beat the shit out of each other for 2 to 3 days. And again, I'm not adding the expletives. These are written on the card. A, beat the shit out of each other for 2 to 3 days straight. B, do everything without clothes for an entire week. C, are arrested if caught speaking anytime. Or D, headbutt each other to say hello. Diana went with D. Jason's going with A. Thank you. You're welcome. Shut up. Erica's going to go with A. So right now we're looking at only Diana getting points or everybody else getting points. Oh, and Jax is going to go with B. Do everything without clothes for an entire week. Brett, Stug, Diana, Jason, Erica, points. It is actually beat the shit out of each other for 2 or 3 days straight. All right, we got time for a couple more, and then I'm going to head out of here. In Switzerland, there is a statue of a man stuffing these into his mouth, and nobody knows why. A, infants. B, real skulls. C, kittens. Or D, French fries. Stug thinks it's A. Erica says A. Jason says B. Brett says A. Diana says C. And for Jax, in Switzerland, there is a statue of a man stuffing these into his mouth, and nobody knows why. A, infants. B, real skulls. C, kittens. Or D, French fries. Stug, Diana think it's A. So does Brett. Jason thinks it's B, real skulls. And Diana went different too. She went C for kittens. Haha, truth, Erica. Jackson's gonna go with kittens. Stug, Erica, and Brett points. Infants. And we all thought the Swiss were really laid back. Yeah, that was fun. Okay. How horny are people at weddings? On average, this many guests hook up with other guests at weddings. A, 5%. B, 40%. C, 55%. Or D, 20%. Erica thinks D, 20%. Jax is going with 40. Brett's going with 40. Diana's going with 20. Stug is going to be different, go 55. Jason's going with 40. That's everybody, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Erica, Diana, points. D, 20%. All right, last one for tonight, guys. World record holder Christine, I'm sorry, not Christian. World record holder Christine Martin has an odd way of relaxing. She soaked for 90 minutes in a tub full of what? A, eels, B, worms, C, cockroaches, or D, maggots? Brett's going with B, worms. Jax is going with worms. Diana's going with worms. Erica's going to go with eels. So is Stug. We're just waiting for Jason. Jason's going with B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No points. No points. It's actually maggots. Maggots was the correct answer. We almost went through a whole set of these in one night. Like one pack of these. Because there's 5 100 card packs in the box here. All right, so let me tally up the scores right now. See where everybody's at. We have Jax at 21. Jason at 18. Diana and Erica just neck and neck with each other. They are tied at 27. Stug is at 20. Dan, who left earlier, is at 4, but he can work that score back up. And Brett, who came in a little late but also got a nice score out of it, he got 15. So, yeah, whenever I whip this game out during live, this will be an ongoing total, and we'll put more people as they show up on there. So, Jax got this for me for my birthday and a coloring book. And I've been forgetting that I had it for the last few nights. So I was like, fuck, I want to go live and play this shit. So we finally did. So there we go. And that's kind of fun. I like that. You learn. Great game. Yeah, you learn some weird shit. You know, like the normal ones are cool. You know, like what has the most calories at McDonald's. But then there's also some weird ones, which, you know, I mean, it says it right there. I wish I didn't know. So yeah, it's kind of fun, and and we're playing it pretty much the same way, almost the same way that you're supposed to play it, except the first person to 5 actually wins. But I figured I would just do an ongoing tally. You know, plus we still have the question book. We might whip out one night, giggity, whip it out. So yeah, it won't be live tomorrow because of course we record the podcast on Tuesday nights, which. Great game. See everyone tomorrow. Did you watch? No, I didn't watch X last night. I've been watching this fucking Chris Chan documentary, so I watched some of that because it's like 64 parts long, and I'm on like part 14. So no, I didn't get to watch it yet. But yeah, it won't be live tomorrow because recording the podcast and everything. And if you guys listen to the 3-Way Dance Wrestling podcast and you're a fan of stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, be sure you tune in Wednesday because we're going to be doing like a Dungeons and Dragons with a wrestling twist. We've actually did it for an episode before. So yeah, if you guys have felt entertained tonight, want to give up a little something for me, send me the one you're watching too. Okay. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App description down below, or there's the Amazon wish list if somebody didn't send a birthday present. And would like to send one, hey, you still can. I will accept late gifts. I think you guys are cool enough for it. Let me just get this real quick. Where the hell is it? History. Where the hell is it? How many videos did I fucking watch today? Okay, I'll just get. Oh, there it is. Booker. Okay, got that. So anyway, so probably might be is now my new live schedule. I mean, for a while it was, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but now Monday is like my like maybe day. For sure Thursday and Sundays is like my two positive days. I know for sure I want to go live. Sometimes a Saturday might sneak in there too, depending on how bored I really am. So yeah, so we'll be live again on Thursday. Be sure to listen to Wednesday, this week's Three-Way Dance Rooms and podcast. And even if you don't want to listen to it, hey, just bring it up. Put it on in the background. Let it play. Put it on mute. I don't care. Just let it play. Get the word out there. So I'll see you guys when I see you. Till next time, guys. I'm yours, Version 1. Be breezy.